This video is TV-14. Viewer discretion is advised.
YouTube might destroy animation channels in 2020.
Right now, this week, a lot of people are talking about YouTube, the FTC, and a thing called COPPA or COPPA.
I gotta tell you, I've been hearing some pretty crazy responses from creators in regards to COPPA, the FTC, and YouTube terms of service changes.
If you've been on YouTube the past couple days, you've probably seen a lot of YouTubers talk about COPPA, the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act.
So, this new COPPA, huh? Alright, so I've been seeing a lot of people that have been talking about this, and, you know, it should be talked about. It should be big, it should be huge, a lot of people should be noticing it. It's a big, massive deal. But I'm gonna actually talk about why animators shouldn't be as afraid because all of these other reviewers are telling you that you should. Alright, so two quick little things if you don't want to watch an entire, probably 20-minute video. I don't know how long this video is going to be, but if you don't want to watch it, I'm going to recommend you two things. Make your thumbnail saturated and put TV-14 on the top left-hand corner of your video and your thumbnail. That's it. Put that logo there so the COPPA or whoever the hell is going to review it will most likely not even think it's for children. You would have to do that anyway. Okay. Alright, so now time to actually get into the meat of this. So, I've been seeing these reviewers, like toy reviewers, gaming channel, media criticizers, I mean, people that actually, like, look at cartoons and anything that goes on with kids stuff. I've been seeing these people freak the hell out. Now, I mainly can understand. If you're making something that is targeted for children and you're reviewing that, will most likely have a very colorful thumbnail, because this show is pretty colorful, and you also want something really clickbaity, so everyone will click on it, and everyone will try to get your video and see what your opinion is on it. But here's one thing that I'm finding really annoying. Okay, for the past freaking, 8 years, people have used animators as a scapegoat. Fucking quit it. It's ridiculous. Every time I see somebody reviewing some kind of new policy or rule or law that comes in, whether it's by YouTube or not, people use animators as an scapegoat left and right. Stop. It's ridiculous. If you are an animator, I just told you before, if you're an animator, you most likely are going to make some kind of animation that's going to look pretty saturated anyway, and going to have some kind of rating system anyway. You most likely don't want kids watching your animation no matter what. And if it is aimed at kids, that's your choice. But again, you don't have to do the same thing that these reviewers have to do. You don't have to be like, oh, well, how am I gonna make clickbaity content when it comes to my animation that I spent months on? Let me just tell you a quick solution. Slap the TV-14 logo on there and make sure you have the darkest scene on your freaking animation. That's all you have to do. I'm not joking. You want something that's still dark, but also looks interesting to the audience. If you're an animator, you don't have to worry, and you just have to do those two things. It's not that bad. But these reviewers like using animators as a complete scapegoat when they say, oh, well, if it's a cartoon, all of a sudden, that means all animators are going to get screwed over because it has fast-moving characters and something that looks like a children's character, and it's going to seem like it's a viewership for kids. Okay, true, if you don't put a rating on there. I know I've been hammering this in, but it's true. Animators, ever since 2012 to 2013, animators have had to put some kind of rating system on their animation so kids don't view it. I'm sorry, but this is nothing new to animators. These reviewers are freaking scaring the hell out of you because they're the ones that are going to get their videos taken down, or they're the ones that are actually going to be the ones that get fined, or maybe not. I mean, most likely they won't because they're not aiming for kids anyway, and most likely all they would have to do is make sure their thumbnails don't look super colorful as hell, and maybe even put the TV-14 logo on the top left-hand corner of their thumbnail and their video anyway. Or even put a disclaimer. I mean, again, this stuff is not hard. These guys are scaring animators. If animators' money gets taken away, most likely animators are going to freak the hell out because that's mainly some of their main income. But again, it's most likely not going to happen if you're smart. If you're an animator, I'm pretty sure you're pretty smart about this. You already know the two solutions. I just said it. But these reviewers are pretty much not safe. Because you want to know why? Because they say that they don't aim for children, and they're not trying to do stuff with children. They're not trying to get children to watch their videos. Bullshit. Alright, I understand that some people don't aim for children. Some people don't. Some people actually just full-blown curse and full-blown do inappropriate shit and say adult shit because they know that sometimes their video will get demonetized, but no matter how hard they try, it's gonna get demonetized anyway, or sometimes it won't, because guess what? Their thing may even be age-restricted anyway, or it wouldn't have even been aimed at kids anyway, so they don't have to worry. The people that are worrying are the people that review stuff that could be viewed by kids, and they know children will click on their video anyway, even though they say, well, that's not my target audience. Yeah, of course it's not your target audience. We know what your target audience is. We know you're not intending for kids to click it, but you know that's where partially your income comes from. And you're afraid that once kids are not able to view your content, your money is gonna dip. Mainly because you decided, that, oh, well, I'm gonna make something super clickbaity that adults would click on, and for sure kids would definitely click on. Because you know it's true. You use bright colors, you use shocking reactions, you use any kind of description on the thumbnail to make it look like people can click on it. I mean, kids are pretty stupid. They'll click on it anyway, no matter what it is, if it has even something really colorful that has something eye-catching, and I know adults will do that too. But the thing is that's what you risk. You knew exactly what you were doing, even though you were aiming for teenagers and above. You knew kids were gonna still come on your platform, and some of them were going to disobey their mother, or disobey their father, and click on your videos that may not have cursing in it, or may not have anything in it. And I'm like, and that's your fucking problem. I'm sorry. But that is 100% your problem. When your video gets demonetized, it's because you either cursed in the first minute, or even sometimes you didn't actually take the time to actually figure out what in your video can get demonetized. There is actually a video that I probably will link in the description that will actually kind of explain how to not really get demonetized. Now, I know for animators that may suck, but, again, if you're an animator, also something you can also do. If the demonetization system, which is probably going to be changed because of the new COPPA law, which I'm kind of fine with if the bots change, if the bots find something that could be demonetized, and you search your video on this website and find, okay, this part is actually too violent for YouTube, this part's too violent for YouTube, this part's too violent for YouTube. Honestly, it's not easy. Sure, it will take a bunch of extra work to change something in that animation. But again, if you're an animator, you most likely have the core file anyway and be like, okay, well shoot, this is see, even probably saying that would get me demonetized if I didn't have monetization, or if I had monetization. But it's like, oh, well, here's a gun in this character's hand. Either, probably, A, you probably just make it super shadowed, or make it look like the bot wouldn't be able to see it, or B, you would change it to something else. Like, especially if there's something with, like, bloody scenes in it, sometimes you can actually get away with it if you do it right, and if not, you can still change that. I mean, again, I understand that animations take months upon months on end, and I know that changing something in your animation could take another few weeks just because, like, the YouTube algorithm doesn't like it. But this is your job. I'm sorry, but you're not an employee. You're an entrepreneur by this point. This is 100% your job, something you have to figure out no matter how much a business screws you. It's like owning a restaurant. If you own a restaurant, somebody says that, okay, you have a sports bar, but, you have a katana on the wall, and the property owner comes in and says, alright, you can't have that katana on the wall. What are you gonna do? Try to go against him and say, oh, well, no, I'm not gonna follow that. It's like, what do you think is gonna happen? They're gonna kick you out of that property. They're not gonna allow you to have your restaurant there anymore because you have something that they don't think is okay for kids, because they know kids can walk in there, and you didn't have your sports bar as an 18+ sports bar only. And of course, it's the same thing with that. Kids will end up probably walking in that sports bar anyway because they're not supposed to be in there, or sometimes you just don't see them, and it will happen, and then eventually you'll kick them out. Sure, you'll get in trouble, but, like, sometimes if a property owner finds that out, you'll probably get kicked out of that location, and you'll have to try a new one. And it sucks. It would be awful. It would be terrible. You would be jobless for a while. Probably making a new restaurant would be a major pain in the ass, but it would just have to happen. It's like you're going to take that katana off the wall because you say your channel is a family-friendly place. Or even if you say that, even if the bar is intentionally meant for people that are 18 to 21 and over, it's like the rest of the restaurant isn't. And most likely you want more money because you realize that children equal more money for you. It's the same thing with YouTube. YouTube is changing its algorithm to the point where people actually finally, even though it was illegal before, YouTube is finally changing its algorithm to 13 plus, which it should have done for years. In my eyes, this is a good thing. Mainly, but these reviewers don't think it's a good thing and are trying to scare animators into doing this because they realize they're the ones at risk. I'm sorry, but f*** you. It's like, f*** you for scaring the people that actually knew this before and had to do this before. I'm sorry, but if you were an animator that didn't put any kind of rating system at the beginning of your videos in the top left-hand corner, even if it's only 6 seconds long, that's your fault. You should have done that since the beginning, and then if your thumbnail is all super clickbaity and super colorful and doesn't even have a rating system on it, that's kinda your fault. People were taking down videos before this, or YouTube was taking down videos before with animators that had something too colorful in their thumbnail anyway, hence the reason why YouTubers started putting the rating system in some of their videos and some of their thumbnails. It was already a thing for us. It's already existed. It's like, it's been a thing for a while. Just some animators have gotten away with it in some points because they just honestly forgot. It's like, I'm sorry, but you critics are the reason, like, you critics are kind of the reason why we have to deal with this kind of bullshit, and not only that, it's like, you're getting mad that you're having to do the same thing we've been doing for years. I'm sorry, but you. We've been doing this. It's been a thing for us. It's nothing new. I'm sorry, not sorry, but this is kind of what you get. Before, I was kind of defending these channels before because they were freaking out. But using us as an scapegoat every time is a big middle finger to us. It's insulting. It's ridiculous. Why would you do that? I know why you would do that. It's because you don't want to do the same thing we've been doing. I'm sorry, but animators are not the ones screwed here. You are. Critics are. You know, critics are 100%. Like, you know, anybody that's a gaming channel, anybody that's a show reviewer, media critic, anybody that's a toy reviewer, anybody that does anything based off of children's content, I'm sorry, but you're the ones that will get fucked, not us. Sure, if something has something that children consume, most likely we are going to make it look very adult-themed. We are not going to be lazy with our thumbnails. We can't be lazy with our thumbnails. We use probably something in our video that would not be appropriate for children anyway. When people were doing this at the beginning, some people were putting some stuff that were just not okay with YouTube today. In 2013, even if it wasn't a rating on the top left-hand corner, there was still something to indicate that this is clearly for adults. Not somebody just sitting there getting pissed off at some kind of, or at like a DB animated show or a toy or words on a screen or just a big ol' slap on the, or big ol' like post stamp on the thumbnail that says something like scam or you won't believe this with a red circle on it and an arrow on there. I know that's probably out by this point, but you get what I mean. I'm sorry, but animators just make clickbaity thumbnails that actually cater to their audience. If their audience is kids, they're going to make something clickbaity enough for kids. It's like, But then, if it's catered toward adults, they will make it adult-themed. I mean, look at freaking Has-Been Hotel. It looks childish as hell. But that thumbnail says the word hell in it. Look at VivziePop's newest video. I mean, I don't remember the name of that newest show, but you can clearly tell it's pretty satanic looking. It's like, it's not kind of our fault if a kid clicks a thumbnail that has like a symbol for hell as well, like for satanic ritual. I'm sorry, but it's pretty clear. Animators been doing this. Animators are trying to do adult themes because they realize kids just won't give them enough funding anyway. I'm like, the only kind of people that have kind of been doing this were channels that had, or what I call it, were channels that had some kind of, that were kind of aiming for kids in the first place. Yes, I want to defend those channels as well. I want those channels up as well, because honestly, I feel like, as stupid as they are, they do entertain children. But, unfortunately, you were not aiming for children, and you were the ones that were afraid of it. I'm sorry, critics, but you're the ones that are not animators. Oh my god. I can't believe I made a full-blown... And this is probably not even going to have that much visual representation anyway, but I thought I would just bring this up. It's like, because people still don't get to see the idea that just it's been like this. Or people just don't seem to get the idea that this COPPA law is not really going to change much for animators. It's going to make us change, us be a little bit more cautious, but I'm sorry, like, we have something that shows what's wrong in our video. I mean, sure, if Google brings up something that does have something that actually listens to your video and says, okay, this is bad for YouTube, this is bad for YouTube, and this is bad for YouTube, alright, that makes sense. Like, again, if they added that, sure, like, if they added that, that would be great, because if I ended up putting something in my animation in a script that was super freaking long, and I said the word and took out the word later, but then all of a sudden, like, it's still demonetized because I said something else, I'm pretty sure, like, if it would at least listen to the sound and tell me what's wrong with it, I would totally change the script. I mean, sure, it would suck, but I would try to change it out with something. I mean, it's not like TV shows haven't been doing that for years anyway. You know, dubbing out something sounds kind of lame, but it's kind of what's needed. But, whatever, man. I mean, I know this is clearly ironic because I'm somebody reviewing something that is a law that's going on, and I'm reviewing reviewers. Whoa, how childish! God. Like, I don't get why people are just freaking out over something that is clearly not, or people are freaking out because it's their problem, not because of animators' problems. Anyway, yeah. But, again, I know I've been seriously bashing this into your skull, but animators, if you're somebody that's afraid of what your thumbnail is going to have and what your video, or if your video is going to get fined, or you feel like your video is going to get taken down, put a thumbnail that has something with a darker setting, a scene in your animation that has a darker setting, if you're not going to be somebody that's making a normal thumbnail, and then also slap a TV14 logo on the top left-hand corner. And then, not only that, slap a TV14 logo on the top left-hand corner of your video for probably, let's say, 10 to, like, 20 seconds. Maybe longer if you feel like you're not secure enough. If you slap that on there, I'm sorry, but the law can't say shit. It's been a thing for a while. Adult Swim has been kind of doing this for a while as well. Adult Swim has kind of had that problem beforehand, where they've had to actually put something where it's like, this is only for TV-14 audiences and above. Families be warned, or something like that. It will have some kind of disclaimer before the video, or before the actual show starts. Same thing with you animators. I'm sorry, you're going to have to do that. I'm sorry, but it's just, reviewers piss me off. I know I'm rambling by this point, but it's like, reviewers probably should do the same thing, but they're probably not going to do shit. They're probably not going to do the same thing we're doing. They're probably going to find some way to avoid this anyway. I mean, it's ridiculous. Oh my god. This is probably going on way too long. I know I'm being like Madame here. Well, oh my god, like, you can't believe, like this and like that. Okay. Alright. Alright. I'll see ya bolts later.